Hello, welcome once again to Lost Art of Podcasting. I'm your host, Coxy, joined as always, sometimes by...
Christ.
That's right, as you can probably hear, there's a fridge once again humming in the background. We're not in the White Creeper room or the Sanctum Sanctorum. We're here in Christ's back room, I don't know what to call it yet.
Let's call it Christ Asylum. Or, I can't think of anything better than that. I was going to go for Halloween theme, but it's not October yet, is it?
No, it's not. So you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can tell, my voice probably sounds a bit different this week. That is due to having a throat infection, so I'm currently sipping on a Lemsip. But you hear me coughing and hacking my guts up, I do apologise. But there we go. The joys of you needing your voice to do a job that you don't get paid for. But yeah, I've got a variety of topics, both sent in by myself and user submitted. Alright, silent Bob, calm down. This isn't a podlet.
I keep forgetting people can't actually see us doing this.
No, they can't.
It's just a recording, isn't it?
Yes.
So they can't actually see what I'm doing.
No. I can though.
Probably best they can't actually.
Yeah, put your pants back on.
Yeah.
It's not rapey, as Bunkle said. Oh dear. See what I mean?
Yeah, back to the studio, I do.
You don't get to say that. But no, it's been a funny old month. But yeah, saying about you can't see it, that people can't see you. This was meant to be the live episode.
Oh.
Right. I think Gareth said we'd do for episode 15, but he's not here, so we can't do it. That and it'll be, I'm going to save the Facebook Live stuff when we do milestones. So when we hit 100 likes on Facebook. Then
what we're up to now?
51. No, 70 something.
Oh, getting there.
So that's going to be the opening of the Jack Daniels as well. That I've got at home, the White Saloon. So,
yeah, good. Not far off.
Yes. So get liking, people. But yeah, I got a tax refund.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get like saying they're giving you some money back rather than saying rather than the opposite where they usually want money off you. It's always nice to get a refund, especially when you don't expect it as well.
I wasn't expecting it, but then it's the fact that they once sent me a letter saying I owe them money.
Yeah.
And they were demanding I pay it back in X amount of instalments over X amount of time. Whereas this one, it was like, you can wait 45 days and do nothing, and we'll send you a cheque.
Yeah.
Or you can do it online and get it in 5 days.
It's funny how they're quite quick to demand the money back, but they're not so quick to give it out.
Yeah. So considering I sent the paperwork off, and they said, it'll take 6 weeks. That was in January, and it came through in June.
Mm.
That was to say that the thing was in my favour. But so yeah, that's probably pissed that all the way already. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's gone in my account. But
how much did you get, if you wanted to say?
Enough.
Oh right.
3 figures. It was.
Oh, that'll do.
So it's yeah. So and there's a key word in there of how much I got.
Oh right. 50p.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 50p 3 times.
Yeah.
That happened to me once. So I got a tax rebate when I was through my payslip. 50p back.
Yeah.
Got 50p credited to me, but then it came off my national insurance anyway, so it's pointless.
Yeah, I think I've had that before on payslips where I get paid like £2 for unused holiday and things, silly little things like that.
No, mine was unpaid tax.
Yeah.
Overpaid tax. They were paying it back in bits, but I got 50p back that I overpaid or whatever. So. Yeah, well, I partially spent a bit of it. I bought the Scrubs box set, Series 1 to 9,
Ooh.
for 20 quid second hand.
That's not bad going.
Yeah, considering it's 40 quid brand new.
Yeah, I do need to watch more Scrubs as well. It's one of those shows where I've seen all.
You need to bone up on your medical history.
Yeah, I've seen it as I'm a medical person myself. It's like my kind of show in theory.
You need to stop watching House and watch more Scrubs because it's medically accurate.
Yeah. There's bits of it that are accurate, to be honest, from experience. But
So I thought you told me it was the most accurate, medically accurate compared to like the other.
Probably compared to like Holby City and Casualty, it's probably more. Yeah, it's probably more realistic. In all honesty, yeah. But yeah, it's one of them shows I've seen. I'd probably say about 10 episodes, and I've seen the ones that everyone probably knows, the bits everyone probably knows. But it's one I need to watch a lot more of it. Really, there's a lot of it I haven't seen.
You probably have drifted in and out.
Yeah,
just not realised.
Yeah.
So I was watching American Dad the other night on DVD, and it's like, oh, it's a new season I bought, or whatever, well, last year's season, when it's going through, and it's like I've seen them all already, because they've been on ITV2 all week.
Yeah.
But again, like the same 4 episodes.
Yeah.
That were on last week.
Well, I think that's what it is. What the Scrubs episodes I've seen, they've all been, every time I flick it on whenever it's on, it's the same ones I've seen before, 3 or 4 times. That's why I think I've only seen a handful of episodes. Like, I've seen the... I'd say it's personal favourite actually. I think you know which one I'm going to say anyway. It's got. Let's just say it's a Back to the Future star of his in it.
Oh,
that gives you a clue.
Yeah, the porcelain.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox plays the.
I thought it'd be the airband one.
Oh, that's up there as well. Yeah, which one's that again? What's the main plot of that episode again?
There was Kelso bands, air bands or something from the hospital. I think that's the entire premise.
Oh, right.
There could be an extra. I think that could be like the B story. But
I do remember that bit where Dr. Cox, no relation to us, says to Dr. Kelso, he says it's quite a funny line actually. I quite like it. It's one of them bits everyone's probably seen. He says, "Is it true, Bob, that outside of this hospital you're actually a normal human being?" And he replies, "Well, seeing as you don't exist in my life outside this hospital, it's none of your damn business." that's one of those lines everyone just remembers. It's always stuck in my head, that one.
I got called Dr. Cox recently somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
I get mistaken for a doctor at work all the time.
No, I actually got called Dr. Cox the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of my temper and attitude, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I've just got that look about me at work.
I think it's just like function on caffeine and anger. According to Ben our friend Ben, which is a half truth. Yeah, I've seen a new £5 note as well and felt one.
Oh yeah, I've had a few of those.
They're really weird.
I must admit, when I first got one from a shop the other day, handed it over in change. I thought it was Monopoly money at first. It's got that Monopoly money feel to it, that sort of glossy, funny feeling.
Well, we got an old Monopoly set though, and most of them, it was actually paper rather than sort of glossy plastic.
Yeah, it does have that Monopoly money feel about it. But apparently, I overheard someone saying in the shop the other day, put them in the washing machine and nick them out fully intact. Apparently,
because of what they're made of.
Yeah,
and they're recyclable after the last run as well. They can be melted down and reused or whatever. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're supposed to have Churchill on them as well. I'm sure the one I had. Yeah, the one I had was a funny one because it didn't have Winston Churchill on it. It had the Churchill dog from the insurance adverts on it. So I don't know if that was a real one or not. Why
is a tumbleweed in your kitchen?
You love a stupid
You heard it here
really.
last, folks.
You're most stupid joke, really, don't you?
You'll have to ask the audience at home. If you like crass stupid jokes, please write in to us. lostarterpodcasting@gmail.com. Subject: crass jokes.
Yeah.
One Paul, our good friend Paul Flinders, and long-time listener of the show / contributor of the show. He posted a link the other day to something called. He didn't even mention it as a topic. He actually posted it on Facebook. It's something called the Hamdog.
Oh, I don't know about this. What is it?
It's part hot dog, part hamburger.
Oh, I think I've seen pictures of this.
It's like it looks like a bike seat.
Yeah,
but a really weird bike seat.
It's just, to me, I've seen the picture of it. It's been everywhere all over social media. It's one of them things. It looks like another heart attack in a sandwich when you look at it. It's just full of like the most unhealthy things you could possibly think of, which is probably why I eat it. In all honesty.
I don't know where it's coming out though. I don't know if it's just like a special, like a restaurant's made it or something, or if it's going to be a new thing. Sort of,
McDonald's signature menu.
Well, don't know it's going to pop up everywhere anyway. Some people are going to have their own attempt at it, and it's going to pop up places. So
someone will build a giant one at some point, won't they? Not build a giant one, make a giant one at some point.
So
it's inevitable.
So if you have tried one, let us know. I can't remember. I need to look at where they're made or whatever, or where they make them, but I'll do that another time. Sticking with food, there is now a McCafe.
Alright. Is this what I'm assuming on as it says in the name?
What?
It's just McDonald's, but without the food. It's just more of a... I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say?
Essentially, it's McDonald's, but rather than Big Macs and quarter pounders and stuff, it's croissants, pastries, coffee.
It's basically like
bagels.
Yeah, it's like Starbucks or Costa, but in the form of McDonald's.
Yeah, there's one opened in France, and people are a bit weirded out by it.
Yeah. I think it's all part of their drive, though, to try and say, we're not all greasy hamburgers and chicken nuggets, isn't it? We do healthy food as well. And
we do try our salad, which has more fat in it than the bloody burgers.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No, it's their attempt at, like, branching out and sort of... Because I think more and more people are using coffee shops and stuff nowadays.
Yeah. To be honest, McDonald's is actually...
an alternative.
To be honest, at the fast food place that do coffee, McDonald's is actually probably one of the better places to get cheap coffee. Because I've had Greg's coffee and it's not...
Hard to beat that. You've had a leading competitor's coffee.
Yeah. It's not the best, right? McDonald's is probably one of the better ones I've had in my experience. But you obviously can't beat the proper coffee shops.
Views and opinions are Christ-owned.
Yeah. Is it coming to the UK though? That's the question.
I don't know yet. All I've seen is they've opened like one branch in France. So whether it does come over here or not.
You'd expect that in France anyway, wouldn't you? They'd sort of... France is like...
I consider they call it Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pulp Fiction. But no, the one thing I saw, it was like, it was a poppy seed or something. There's something in honey mustard bagel. I think it might have been poppy seed and honey mustard bagel, which is one of the things you could have. And it's like, obviously, do coffees and tea and croissants and stuff. But it's like that. There was that thing I read years ago, when it's like a CEO of McDonald's or something speaking to a university class. And he says to him, if I said to you, McDonald's, what would you assume we sell? And everyone says fast food, and he says, no, you're wrong, it's real estate. Because you're selling the franchise.
Oh, yeah,
McDonald's sells the franchise, not the food.
Well, I think most of
in a weird way.
I think most of the restaurants in Blackpool are franchised, aren't they? Yeah.
The sort of thingy ones are, the main.
Yeah. I think there's one in town's main branch, isn't there? I think Squires Gate, all the others are all franchised, aren't they? I think they're all owned by the same guy who owns probably about 5 or 6 under his belt, which they normally do. Same with Subway. Subway are the same, aren't they? They're all franchised and
you have to, because when I did business studies in high school, we were talking about franchise at one point, and they said you've got to put X amount of money in, and you've got a big commitment for 20 years. And in that time, you're going to open X amount of sites in these places at these points and all this sort of thing. So.
It's one of them though, because you're buying into a global brand, it can pay off. Big style, really, can't it? Whereas when you start,
it can pay off, but it depends on your location and stuff.
When you start a business from scratch, it's all that risk of. It's like, especially like the fast food market. I mean, look at Blackpool, for example. We're full of fast food joints, aren't we? Although, to be honest, compared to I think I'd rather go in McDonald's than a lot of the fast food joints in Blackpool, to be honest. And,
Well, considering one got shut down when the health inspector walked in the other day.
yeah, as soon as they walked in, that was a cafe, that was.
Yeah, but I'd rather go in a Mackey's than go in there.
Yeah. It's like someone said to me recently, he's worked at McDonald's, and he said, I can't remember what it was now, but they said they've worked at McDonald's, and they said it's actually, despite its reputation,
it's a friend of ours.
Yeah, they're actually very, true. They're actually very good on food hygiene, health and safety, that kind of thing. They actually take it really seriously, whereas some of these places we refer to in Blackpool, you don't know what's going on behind the kitchen, really, do you? Oh, just drop that bit of dynamite on the floor. Oh, it's alright, we'll just put it in the next one. And these
5 second rule.
Yeah, these lot of customers have gone out, we'll pick it up.
I just sneeze over the mayonnaise and we find to stir it in.
Yeah. Tried to think we're going to There are some good ones out there, though. I mean, we've got the award-winning Armenian.
There is.
Which is probably one of the better kebab houses I've been to.
Yeah.
I've had some horrible kebabs from some place. I won't name anywhere, but I've had some horrible kebabs from certain places.
But the problem is, you say that, and the next topic someone will send in the next episode will be, so what are these bad takeaways Christ has been to? And the one answers.
Yeah. I don't exactly want to go naming them in public, really, because it's one of them.
Yeah, well
I don't want to end up in a kebab myself. Let's put it out.
So many jokes. But no, they're all in bad taste.
Yeah. That's what we do here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but because then there's like locals that listen and stuff. But then we all know the story of Funny Boys Takeaway.
I wasn't referring to that one.
No,
I've never been in there.
No, I haven't. But there was things I refer to with that one. But I'll say that off the air. So yeah. Going back slightly on topic with Paul, but we'll come back. There's a more topics than on the Paul's topics he's sent in.
Yeah.
He's starting a new podcast.
Oh yes.
Soon.
I've heard of it. I can't remember what it's called, but I've seen.
This one's called the RAD, or Random Ass Discussion.
That's the one. Yeah. I thought I'd heard of it.
He's looking to start in a couple of weeks or so. He's got a Facebook page set up. But you have to type in like RAD podcast and then Random Ass Discussion, something like that, for it to come up. Well, I've shared on the Lost Star Podcasting Facebook page, so you can find it on there as well.
I'm assuming the clues in the title with that one. It's just good random discussion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I've not heard anything yet, but I'm no doubt I'll be guesting on it at some point.
Yeah.
So there'll be a crossover, lost random podcasting.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Random of the Lost podcast.
You mean Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Pod. Oh, yeah.
That sounds the best word.
Temple of Pod. No. Kingdom of the Crystal Pod.
Adam's Revenge.
Yeah.
When does that come on then?
There's no actual date for it yet, but I've heard a week, maybe 2 weeks.
It's a work in progress at the moment. Oh, good.
So
I'll keep an eye out
it's
for
just
that.
sort of nailing down guests and stuff. And
Yeah.
So, yeah, just keep an eye out for it. It'll probably be on Spreaker and iTunes and stuff like that to listen to. But I'll plug it all on the Facebook anyway. So, Bunkle's Boy. If you listen to the last episode of the wrestling special, you'll hear Bunkle talking a lot about who boys are in wrestling. It's not a weird topic. As I only found out because he caught on this sort of name for another podcast he listens to.
Oh, right.
Essentially, a boy is a guy who's never held a world title.
Oh, right.
So
he was implying something else.
We do worry. No, his boy, Noam-dar, is making his last indie appearance. This Saturday before he leaves the indies to go to the big leagues. So
where's that on that?
That's it. Evoke in Preston.
Oh.
Tickets are limited. However, you can still get them. I think it's £15 general admission. So there's a few other good matches on there. There's Hooligans versus Team Single. I can't remember any others without looking at the card, but there we go. That's at Evoke. I think it's doors at 4, shows at 5. So if you need your tickets, you probably can't pay on the door, but get them online. Give Floodboat some money that he desperately needs. He's tight-fisted like a Yorkshireman is our Floods. At times, he knows he is, but no. So yeah, check out Noam-Dar's last appearance and you'll be able to catch him on Raw every Monday night on Sky Sports.
Nice.
Following on from that, your dream as an adult man was to be a wrestler, wasn't it, at one point?
Probably a few years ago, yeah.
About a year ago, it was your boyhood dream.
I haven't got the time to do it full time, really. It's one of those. But I've been a wrestling fan for quite a few years, but I'm one of those people. I've always said I don't like watching things. I like to get in there and do it.
Right.
But it's I sort of half do it in the way we do judo, which is
you learn to fall.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, there's similarities between judo and wrestling. There's elements of wrestling that are based on judo as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
If judo's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've considered going into wrestling, but it's the amount of time it takes up. It's a full-time job in itself, isn't it? Really,
it's a lot of dedication.
Yeah. As you know, I'm a busy person. Anyway, with a lot of other things going on, so it's something you really got to throw yourself into full time, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, pretty much. It's you pretty much have to be dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So off the bat, like it's what was it? Someone said something like wrestling is my mistress and the ring is my church or something.
Yeah.
I think Gil said that once. But did you know there's players locally you could train if you wanted to?
Is this the PCW Academy?
You give the game away now.
Oh. That's the only one I can think of. That's local, so to speak. So I just jumped the gun a bit.
Yeah. Essentially, there is the PCW Academy in Preston where you can learn, but it's only on like a student intake. I think the next intake's in January. Let me just double check that one. I think it's 16 plus, and you will get put through your paces. It will be difficult, but if you are dedicated, then you can go down and train. But from the small videos I've seen, it doesn't look easy, and I won't be in any hurry to try it myself.
Yeah.
I'll stick with judo. Let's just find it on here.
Well, the thing I like with judo is we take it at our own pace, don't we? It's like you can have a couple of weeks off. Like I've gone and knackered my back, so I'm taking a few weeks off, hoping to get back in action next week. But then with wrestling, it's like a few weeks out. You can miss an awful lot, really, can't you? And that could be the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. And so you've really got to be full time, haven't you? Really.
Yep. And
that's not the kind of commitment I can make in order. I've just got too many other things going on.
Well, it's the intake is the 4th of March 2017. You'll get guest trainers from all over the world. They've had Chris Masters, they've had Billy Gunn, they've had Jeff Jarrett, they've had Dave Taylor, they've had Brett.
Yeah, I remember him.
They've had Ricky Steamboat, they've had Bubblegum, they've had T-Bone, they've had Joey Hayes. So you got a wealth of knowledge.
Oh yeah.
I think they've even had Team 3D there, the Dudley Boys, at one point. It's a £60 joining up fee, and that covers you for 3 classes a week over a 4-week period. Then it's £60 per month after that, which gets you 3 classes a week.
That's what I mean to make that kind of. I mean that's like twice your average gym membership, really, isn't it? So you've got to be able to make that commitment, really, haven't you? If you're putting that much money into it.
It is. They do say you should sort of your fitness needs to be at a level.
Yeah.
But you can work on it over time because it will obviously put you through your paces. But yeah, there's it's like here looking at it. There's 3 different seminars. You got Dave Taylor in October. You got Joey Ryan in November, and the Honky Tonk Man in November. So I think that £60 covers it. Covers those.
That's not bad actually. It's good. You've done a bit of training yourself before, haven't you?
I did about 9 years ago.
Yeah,
and it still hurts to this day. No, I did 9 months worth of training. I did my knee in, I did my ribs in, and the company shut down in the end.
However, there was a biopic made about your career. How many years ago now was it? About when did the film come out? Now,
Which film?
The Wrestler.
2008.
Yeah, so about 8 years ago. They, which, funnily enough, just after you'd retired from wrestling training, they made a biopic about Adam's career as a wrestler.
It wasn't a biopic about me.
It's true though.
I did work in a deli counter, but I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't cut my thumb, and I wasn't like a world champion. And with my estranged daughter, who bought a jacket with an S for Stephanie on it.
You've done that bit before. I had to throw that one in.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a good film, by the way, if you're not seeing it.
It is. It's on Netflix currently as well.
Oh, nice. I have to watch that. I've not seen it for a while.
So it is in the pound shop as well. So if you want to buy a DVD copy. So I'm in the middle of texting while I'm trying to record. It's pretty annoying. I can smell deep heat. Yeah, but you've done a bit of wrestling. You say you haven't done any wrestling, but you have done a bit of wrestling because you did.
Yes,
you did the Grave Wrestling Championship.
Yeah.
In wherever it was. Where was it? Somewhere in Lancashire.
Bake Up.
That's the one.
Yeah, that was definitely an experience, but a very very good experience. Very interesting, very different way to spend a bank holiday Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting sunburnt and covered in gravy.
Yeah. No, it's honestly one of the funniest things I've ever done. Though it was good fun. It was all for a good cause. It's for charity. It's the World Grave Wrestling Championships. It's the only one of its kind in the world. Right. I discovered it. I think I just discovered it either through a Lancashire Telegraph or through Facebook, and I thought, I like the sound of this. I might give it a go next year. And then, next thing you know, I've got an entry in, and then didn't hear anything for a while. I thought, oh bugger, they've forgotten about me, or I've not been accepted because it's a very very limited number of places. Right. 20 wrestlers a year they have. Might expand because it was such a popular event, as you saw the amount of spectators that were there.
Yeah.
And then next thing, in about 2 weeks before, I decided to chase them up, and they said, "Oh, we've sent you an email back in May to say you've been accepted." I was like, "Oh boys,
we're lost in the 17,000 emails you've got."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somewhere. Couldn't find it though.
I bet it's in there. But it might have ended up in your spam box or something, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Just sort of played through it.
Yeah, just deleted it by accident. But no, it was definitely worth doing. It's something I plan on making my return next year. But yeah, it was a very good experience. It was literally like being in a slapstick comedy film of your own. That's the best way to describe it.
Well, you did take on Laurel and Hardy.
We had that added to the comedy in a way, though, which I thought was hilarious because I was a bit apprehensive about doing it in the weeks up to it because I thought, what they put me up against some professional wrestlers and what have you. But then as soon as I got there, it was like the first thing they said was, "This is not proper wrestling. It's all for fun. Don't kill each other." They basically said.
Yeah.
They said, like, by all means, throw each other about, knock each other down, but do it, Safely, yeah, that's probably the best word. And it was all pre-planned anyway. It's like I had a discussion with this. I'm like, right, find out who your opponent is and have a chat before you go.
Don't give the game away.
we were first on as well, which put all the more pressure on coming out in front of a big audience. But watching the video back, and everyone I've shown it to, they've just literally wet themselves laughing. Which is exactly the effect I was going for, and the audience had a good laugh as well by the look of it. But it's one thing I will say, that it's a lot more slippery than you think. That gravy, it's you can't stand up in it if you tried. It
didn't look nice.
Oh, it didn't taste okay, and it was still quite warm actually, the gravy, because it was a hot day as well. The ring was padded with judo mats, so it was nice and soft when you did get slammed down. But it was so slippery, you just couldn't stand up. So some of my falls and slips were a little bit exaggerated purely for the audience, if you will. But it really was that bloody hard to stand up. So what did you make of it, Adu?
It was different.
Yeah,
certainly. It just so I got a bit of hands when they started giving out bloody water bombs to people filled with gravy, and everyone some.
Well, they were there. They were meant to be thrown at the wrestlers during the fights, weren't they?
Some daft arsehole.
But because there was
in the crowd.
Because there was a technical issue, wasn't it, with the PA system or something? So there was a bit of a 10-minute break in between fights. So then certain members of the audience, us not included, decided to start throwing them at each other in the sort of squared fence that was around the audience. So there was like gravy bombs flying everywhere.
Yep, it wasn't.
Which, after I'd already been hosed down by the fire brigades, that did happen. By the way, that's not one of my made-up stories.
Well, you were alright because you were in your costume.
Yeah, well, I've been hosed down by the fire brigade. I just started to dry off because it was a nice sunny day, and I got hit right in the chest with a bloody gravy bomb. It was a perfect shot, right for the heart. It was going by the look of it. Yeah. No, it was good fun. I'll definitely do it again.
Right.
But I basically said that anyway. I said I plan to make a return next year, so technically covered that.
Yeah. So the Gravy Ninja's going to make a return then?
Yeah.
Or are you going to repair with something different?
No, because if you look at the characters they had, everyone went for like the gravy theme. Like you had the Bisto Brawler, and there's that guy who came out like Dick Dastardly, who was the Captain Gravy, and so everyone went for like the gravy theme. Except for a couple people, like it was it Dancing Das?
Yeah,
he was hilarious. especially when the commentator said, "So no, what's the opponent trying to do? Trying to eat it? Oh no, he's got an awful lot of eating to do." And then it was my wardrobe malfunction, obviously, as well.
Yeah, your arse hanging out.
Yeah. But it's because the gravy is that it weighs your costume I had on, it soaks up the gravy so well and it pulled my pants down and I just couldn't hold them up because of the weight. It's like when you jump into, it's like
you have to wear a belt next year.
Or put some lycra on that won't fall down, because it's like, you remember back in school swimming lesson days and you had to, the silly exercise, you had to jump into water in your pyjamas. Yeah. It's like that. You like weigh down and it weighs a bloody ton when it was like that. I bet that brings back a memory for a few people, doesn't it?
Possibly.
Wouldn't you still do that now?
That'd be health and safety bollocks, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Following on from that, there was a jailbreak.
Oh yes. Where was that?
Shrewsbury.
Do you mean Shrewsbury, the town in Shropshire?
Yes. There was a jailbreak at the Dana.
Oh, I think I read about this the other day in the paper.
I hope so, because you were bloody there.
I'm just messing.
So yeah, myself and Christ did take part in the prison escape at Shrewsbury Prison, aka the Dana.
Which it was actually a real prison up until 3 years ago, so it is still the shell of a real prison with the real cells, real built-ins, real gates, everything. But it's not with real guards, but very adequately replaced by actors, which were equally hilarious. Go on, you carry on, Anna.
Well, it's because you'd done it before, but it was different this time.
Yeah,
well,
that was part of the fun of it though, because they've run it 3 times now. But I think it's good though, like they said, that they change it every time, because you get people like me who go back and do it again because they loved it that much, and it's good that I'm not going back and doing the same thing again. I quite like the fact that they threw a few more curveballs in this time, and they threw a few surprises in to try and throw you off a little bit. And the actual format of the escape was totally different to my experience last time, well, which I found more fun. So what did you make of it?
It was fun. It was quite humorous in parts, but it was like I was partially expecting to get put in a cell and, like you said, get the bag tossed in.
Yeah.
And then it's all something, it's like we're making the bloody, you've got to do little riddles and stuff to try and get out cell.
It's basically like I say, it's like doing the escape room, but more real life, wasn't it? With real actors and real challenges, but in the form of a prison.
Yeah.
It's but I absolutely loved it. I loved it even more this time round. I'd say the challenges would, like I said, they were some of them were quite tough. Like that man in the kitchen, he wouldn't let us bloody leave until we did them silly little...
We should have got a commissary first and bought some bloody Haribo and bribed him.
Yeah. But because I stupidly tried to bribe him with a CV, didn't I? A CV and a psychological health assessment and a map. But as you can imagine, that went down like a lead balloon. So then he made me... as you could see, I was struggling with trying to balance 4 potatoes on top of each other for 30 seconds without touching them. He gave me a challenge of cleaning the floor instead of with one hand.
Well, he said with one hand behind your back, and then you said you heard it as lie on your back, which you did.
Which he actually found quite funny. He told us like, but he kept a perfectly straight face throughout. But I quite enjoyed the. I thought the doctor was absolutely hilarious, especially when we had the governor in with us as well at our medical assessment. And then we had psychological evaluation, which turned into something of a group role play. We had that crazy guy running around. But no, I really enjoyed it. Did you? No?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, definitely different. We had that crazy guy running around going, "Happy prisoners, happy, everybody go off." And it was even funnier when he was running down the street later shouting, "Freedom! Freedom!" at the top of his voice. This is in the middle of like Shrewsbury Town Centre, and there's like people walking around. They must have thought we were crazy. Especially when
they've probably got used to it by now, because they've been there since June.
Yeah. Well, I think especially though, I was there was one point they told us I'd got to find the getaway car, and then a guard turned around and said, "Have you got your paper signed by the governor?" I was like, "What papers?" He's like, "Oh, you need your release signed by the governor." I was like, "Oh, bollocks!" So I went back in the prison, found the governor in his office, got him to sign the release papers, and then I was just approaching the gate again. There was like 2 gates, wasn't it? It was like an inside gate, an outside gate. Got to the outside gate, walked up to the guards that were manning the gate, and funnily enough, at the time we were talking to 2 tourists that were passing by, and they were like, "Oh, is the prison open for tours today?" And then all of a sudden this man in orange jumpsuit runs over and says, I have release papers signed by the governor of the prison." And it must have thought I was crazy. At which point I then exited the prison and sprinted across to the getaway car. But we were very close to winning though, weren't we?
Nearly,
we basically had the final code, but sadly someone beat us to it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we got given a card, a business card by the man from corporate while we were in the prison, and he said, "Remember this, keep hold of this number. It's coming very handy later." So like, I'm sure a few other people probably did it as well. I tried ringing the number on my mobile once I got out the prison, which there was no answer. Well, it's going to put me through to Domino's Pizza or something, but there was no answer at all. It was clearly a fake telephone number. Only then realised someone said, "Oh, it's a 6-digit code to open a briefcase."
I wondered if that number went through to the prison.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, because when we were sweeping the floor, the phone started ringing at one point. And I'm wondering if someone had a business card in their pack.
Possibly.
In the cell or whatever, and the first thing they'd done was ring that number.
Yeah, because they were probably thinking, "Oh, this could be a hint to get me out. Yeah. It could be someone on the outside who's going to give me a clue." Because that's how it basically works, isn't it? Different cells have different things hidden in them. Yeah. And there's the orderlies as well. They can either help you, they can stab you in the back, they can turn you into the guards, they can do anything as well. I got told off by one of the female orderlies for calling us there.
Only you can do it.
Yeah. I thought the actors were hilarious, so I quite like the teacher as well. education session.
Yeah, but he thought I was hilarious. So.
That's what made it so funny though, because he looked so serious. He read your CV and he just burst out laughing.
Well, yeah, but I said I'm not going to take it seriously.
No, I didn't.
And I thought I'm just going to full on take the piss and see if I can.
Well, that's what I did.
Get him to crack a smile here or something.
That's what I did. That's what they wanted you to do. So that's why he was saying like, oh, it can be any job. It can from Disneyland or Harry Potter or whatever you want.
So I kept saying Pinocchio's nose polisher is mine.
Yeah. So I put Olympic high jump champion, and he said you need to get in the gym if you want to do that. No, it was definitely funny. So would you do it again, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the only downside really is that I somehow, from all the crazy shit that we were doing on the day, I ended up pulling a muscle in my back somewhere. So on the way back to Blackpool, I was like hobbling along, feeling like somebody had snapped me in half, basically.
Well, you were taking a while in the showers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true what they say about that soap. You can't keep hold of it if your life depended on it. But no, I mean, I finally got that sorted today. Went to see a therapist to sort me back out, and he said, so what happened then? And I said, well, I pulled a muscle in my back when I was escaping from prison the other day, and I got the funniest look you must have ever seen when I said that.
Does it match the one I got when I took the serial killer books, The Woman in Poundland?
Probably, yeah, about that, yeah. It was, and she said, oh, you have a sense of humour. I said, no, it's been serious. And the whole room just went silent at that point. You don't believe it happened, do you?
No, it didn't happen.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Yeah. But no, it's good fun. I'm definitely up for doing it again. I'm hoping they will return next year because the future of the prison is uncertain, to say the least. So that could have been the very last one going. But,
yes.
well, unless they find a new location.
Hopefully. New prison or something.
Yeah.
So just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
On to topics now that people have submitted. So if you have submitted, you will get a shout out or a mention. First of all, long time supporter Paul writes in. Straight off the bat, his first one. If you were wrestlers, what would your gimmick / finisher be?
Ooh, this is a good one because this is something in the past I had all sorts of crazy ideas from like. Some which seemed quite sensible, as I'm sure Adam will remember. Some that were just completely bizarre.
Yeah, but that's we discussed this on the wrestling pod last week. The other week, like we said, some of the questionable calls that have been made in decision making in wrestling.
Yeah.
So.
I'm trying to think. If I was doing it now, I think I'd have to try and fit something to go with my persona or my personality in general. So I'd have to go for like a bit of a. Well, it's like one wrestler I quite like. I love his gimmick. I love his persona in general. Is Madman Manson. I just think it. I like it. I like the fact that he's like a real comedy character, but he's got that natural charisma about him as well, and that's what I quite like about him. He's got that stage presence. You can't forget him, if you know what I mean. And I like being that. I like the thought of being that kind of wrestler. I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be one of these kind of wrestlers where it's like I've got a dead boring gimmick, but I'm a good wrestler. You know what I mean? I'd rather be an average wrestler, but have a more funnier gimmick. You know what I mean?
I hope my Manson will listen to this show.
No, I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's an average wrestler. I'm just saying if I was, I'd rather be an average wrestler, but being more funny, more of a character. If you know what I mean. Because then you're memorable. You're remembered, and it's like everyone wants to see you again. It's like you know what I mean.
There's different factors you go down with that.
Yeah, that's the kind of persona I'd go for. I like to thought I've been more, been the good guy, but been the like I say, more of like the clown in the ring kind of thing. You know, more comedy character. I think that suits my persona. I love playing jokes on people. that's my style basically. And as for finishes though,
the thing now, if you got a gimmick where you play a comedy person, you'd have to sort of probably tie your finisher into that somehow.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to think about your physique as well. Because like as I'm a bigger guy, I can't exactly do some kind of cruiserweight kind of finish. It needs to be realistic.
They say you should always do your finish should always be something you can pull off on anyone.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to think of something. Yeah, I'm struggling to think now. I'll probably go for something more of a power move because, like I say, I'm a bigger guy, so I could pull off it looked more sensible me doing a more powerful move, a more powerful finish. Yeah. You know, I mean, something like I'm trying to think through my catalogue of wrestling moves now. I'm trying to think some of the good finishes I can think of. I mean, I used to always been, because I'm into martial arts, so I've always been quite a fan of submission holds. But if I was thinking of a finish now, I want something that's powerful and noticeable. You know what I mean? Like the what was the Bulldogs finish? Something along those kind of lines. I'd probably go for. Especially following in the footsteps of a fellow Brit wrestler as well.
Right.
So, about you, Ada?
It's a tough one, really. Poor you bastard. No, if I was sort of if I went back into it now, it'd have to be sort of semi-grunge-ish, I think. I like grunge music, I like heavy metal.
Could be like
sort of play into it a bit.
Could be like Raven.
Well, I've always liked the Raven character.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's a good character. And he's a good wrestler.
But it had to be something like along those lines. But then I've always sort of, like, I was talking to Paul about it myself the other week. We were talking about death matches and hardcore matches. So I'd sort of lean possibly more towards that. But anything that's just sort of an extension of my own personality, like I put on my prison escape CV thing. I put it's like what was it? Something. This is like way to describe yourself. And I put a bit of a weirdo. Yeah. So it'd be sort of weirdness, but there'd be my sort of humour in there.
Yeah.
But then
I'm trying to think of like one of the classic comedy characters from like
Cabana.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or I always remember, again, a fellow British wrestler, I remember Norman Smiley, who made him into a bit of a screaming Norman, who made him into a bit of a comedy character.
Well, William Regal did bits of comedy.
Yeah.
Like when Jericho pissed in his tea.
Yeah. Well, at times, though, even though he's like one of the more serious wrestlers, Steve Austin became like a bit of a comedy character, didn't he, with his antics in Vince McMahon? Which...
Yeah, if you go back to the Attitude Era stuff, that stuff wasn't meant to be funny in a way. It was meant to be.
It was.
Well, it was, but it's like this is him crossing the boss, like the thing everyone wanted to do at some point in life.
Oh yeah, but it ends up being funny anyway. Though, like when he drove the beer truck into the arena and squirted the fire hose over the ring, and Vince McMahon's there swimming in it. And then was that bit when Vince McMahon was in hospital, and then Steve Austin comes in a white coat and whacks him over the head with a bedpan. That's to me just classic comedy.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, it'd probably just be an extension of myself. Just weirder.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I do think, if I was looking at another angle, I do think I'd like to be like a group like the NWO, because they were like the bad guys. They were like the sort of rebel group kind of thing. Always quite like them. They were all like, because again, they were all characters. You know them all. You get to know them all individually kind of thing, but as a group, you know them as a group as well.
Yeah.
They had that presence about them, and they were just always causing trouble, and always that was always good as well. I like that kind of thing. Because we don't really have anything like that in British wrestling, do we? Don't have like a... Well, we sort of do with Dave Rain.
What, stables, or you mean? Or...
Yeah. I mean, Dave Rain's like a bit of a...
In Scotland, they had the Knack, which is New Age Click. You had the 55. You had the... there's been a couple of teams, I think, up and down the UK, like stables, but there's not really... No of us come to mind. There's probably like Paul's listening to it, screaming other stables down the mic at me or whatever, or down these things to me, but... Yeah, no one else comes to mind.
Yeah.
As for a finisher, well, it's ever since I've played the WWE SmackDown games or 2K, whatever they are now. If I've made myself, I've always used the double under butterfly pile drive, whatever it's called, butterfly pile drive, which is also
That's good, baby. Yeah.
It was the Chris Travis Ego driver. I've always used that because it was in an ECW game it was called Deep Impact. So I've always sort of used that. It was either that or sort of the Facebuster variant, which is like the Fallen Angel, I think it's called, and Chris Daniels used it. I always quite like that move, so I'd probably use something like that. Feeling that it'd be something like a lariat, because apparently I had a really stiff clothesline when I was training. So yeah. I hope that answered your question, Paul. No doubt you're going to grill me about it.
I'm going off on a tangent here now, but it's going back to Graver Wrestling. Just round with talking a clothesline. That's something I wish I'd done now. This is like a learning thing for next year. It would have been hilarious if we'd done that.
Well,
I was just thinking, me and my opponent, we should have done a double clothesline where we just clotheslined each other and went, like opposite direction. that would have just been hilarious. I'm saving that one for next year. I had to get that in.
Yeah. Following on from that, Paul asks, tea or coffee?
Ooh, it's a tough one. For me, though, it depends what kind of mood or what kind of situation I'm in. Because when I'm at work, all I really drink is coffee, especially when I'm on nights. On the night shift, I probably go for about anywhere between 3 and 6 cups of coffee on a night shift. When I'm at home, though, I'm sort of... I do tend to drink coffee more. But I do quite enjoy tea as well.
Why I always say tea after 9?
Yeah.
I don't do coffee after 9 o'clock because then I'm normally up all night. Same with Coke and Pepsi. I won't drink anything with caffeine or try not to after 9 o'clock.
I've made that mistake before as well, yeah.
But for all the people at home who are saying, well, tea has caffeine in it as well, I think you'll find it doesn't. Well, it does, but not as much as coffee. There's more in tea leaves. I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there is, yeah.
Someone tried telling me the opposite a while back, and I put them into place. But no, in case you're ever wondering, Paul, it's tea, milk, no sugar, or coffee, milk, 1 sugar.
It's one of those, though. If I'm out and about, if I'm in a cafe or a tea room or something, I almost always go for tea usually. You get more for your money.
It depends if you're a teapot or not. They just bring you over a cup of hot water in a tea bag.
Oh, but even then, it's like when you go in, like a place where you're going tomorrow for breakfast, you get a big
mug of tea.
Yeah, I quite like that.
I need that morning caffeine fix.
Yeah. So it's one of them.
It's like Ben said, I run on caffeine and anger.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of them. I'd say I'm a bit of both, really. I can't really.
I'm going to go with coffee because I normally drink coffee more, but I'll have like maybe 2 teas after 9 o'clock. I'll have one about 8:30, 9ish, and I'll have one before I go to bed.
I think one of the other reasons I tend to opt for coffee as well is because it's easier to make as well.
Yeah, as well,
you know, to faff about. You've got to leave the tea bag in for 2 or 3 minutes, then take it out, and then if you put too much milk in, which I quite often do, and it goes like that sort of horrible grey watery colour. You have to put another tea bag in or tip it down the sink. It's one of those.
Start again.
Yeah.
So yeah. Following on from that, Paul also asked the greatest animated movie that's not a superhero movie.
Ooh, this is a good one. I'm very tempted to just jump straight in and say Sausage Party because I absolutely love that film. More on that coming up. But now going back though, I mean I do love that film. I'm sure I can think of a classic animated.
But we've all seen America out.
Oh yeah, it's a superhero film, isn't it?
Sort of.
Oh, I'm gonna have to think now. I mean, I do quite like Space Jam if you count that as an animated film, and it's like half live action as well. That's one of them I've not seen for quite a few years actually. I'd say Toy Story's up there. That's a classic.
I was thinking Toy Story, but then the fact that you said Sausage Party, for some reason South Park popped into my head.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a classic. I mean, I do like the Simpson movie. Well, the Simpson movie I just thought was like one long episode of Simpson. Really, it wasn't really a movie, so because they couldn't really pull that off. I mean, it's still funny, isn't it? I do enjoy it.
They could have pulled. Apparently the original Simpsons movie idea was to make. Which one was it? There's one of the older episodes they were going to make it into an actual film. I think it was the one where they go into the woods or something.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it.
I mean, another one that just popped into my head. If you call it a movie, I'd say the Wallace and Gromit series. If you class them as animated, because they are really
stop motion.
Yeah. I'd say they're up there for me. I could just sit there and watch them over and over again. Especially the three originals. In particular, Close Shave, which I think is brilliant.
I'm trying to think of others.
Yeah, I'm struggling now. I'm scanning through the DVD collection in my head now.
Yeah, for me it'd either be Toy Story or South Park, which is a really weird contrast, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go along with that. Yeah, I honestly can't think of anything else. But Sausage Party is definitely up there now. I'll say that much.
We got Beavis and Butthead Do America as well.
That's what I'm not sure she's in that one.
I'm scanning through my collection, there's nothing else I can see.
I'm not seeing SpongeBob SquarePants the movie.
There was the Toxic Crusaders movie, which is on it's essentially 4 episodes in one. They've called a movie, but it's not. So, yeah, that's going to be my pick then.
I mean, a lot of people would say Finding Nemo, but I'm not sure. That's one of them films I've not seen, so I can't really comment on it. I know that'd be on top of a lot of people's lists. Oh, I just know there's one jumping out at me, and I can't think what it is. I'm thinking like all the Pixar films now, or Disney films even. Yeah, I'm really struggling. It's got me a tough question there. I know there's one just screaming at me, and I can't think what it is. Lion King, I'd say, is up there. That's a quite animated classic. I put that amongst my sort of top 5 if I was doing a top 5. I'm trying to think Pixar. Oh, Shrek. That's a good. Shrek, I'm getting more on the right lines again now. All these ideas coming into me. I'll say Shrek's up there.
There's Up. There's Ratatouille.
Oh, Up.
Cars.
Have you seen Up?
Yes. I saw it in 3D.
It's brilliant. It's hilarious.
Paranorman. There's what's that with the Coraline? You got Frank and Willie.
Oh, of course.
What?
I know which my favourite one is now. It's probably that one that's screaming out at me. It's probably one of I've seen that. Yeah, it's not bad actually. Quite actually.
Wall-E. Monsters Inc.
Not seen that one. No, there's one. It was jumping out at me. It's one by one of my favourite directors as well. Nightmare Before Christmas. I'd probably put that down as my favourite animated film. Absolutely classic that is.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. That's probably the one that was screaming out at me and I couldn't think of. Because I like the fact it's got a Halloween theme and a Christmas theme, so it's two of my favourite days of the year mixed into one, and it's funny as well. But yeah, I'd go with that. Night Before Christmas.
So when I say Night Before Christmas, I'm going to say either Toy Story or South Park Big Alonga and Uncut. Following from that, yes, favourite childhood toys.
Ooh. Well, the thing is, I always had Cindy when we were younger because we couldn't afford Barbie. Apparently, could we?
What's this Wii?
Yeah, Wii. They didn't have Wii's back then.
No, we didn't.
No. It was what was it, Game Boy and Commodore 64 back then. Back in my day.
Not Father Time.
Yeah, old Father Time. No, but I was always more into cars. That was my thing. Like Corgi, Matchbox, all that kind of thing. That was more my thing for pretty much most of my childhood. So I'd go with that, yeah. That's always what I've been into.
Just cars.
Mostly, yeah. That was like the main thing I was into. But I do remember those. You'll probably remember when I say it. But I remember those. I don't know where we got them from. We used to have those like stories on tape recorder that you could play. There was like they used to come in a box.
No idea where we got them from.
They used to come in a box and they were like yellow tapes. Each one had like a story. Some of them were based on like real fairy tales, and some were just like made up stories. But they were quite
big
good.
Plastic box.
Yeah, I'd love to listen to them now and see.
It wouldn't surprise me if someone's put them on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense actually, or somewhere on eBay probably.
Yeah, you know, just find out what they're called.
Yeah, might look that up actually, but yeah, that's probably what I'd go with.
I'd go with either Power Rangers, because the new movie's out next year as well.
Oh yes.
Or Ninja Turtles was another good one.
It's going to be our Halloween costumes for next year, isn't it? That from Power Rangers.
Turtles was a good one until they started going a bit weird with them. I remember there was a Turtles blimp.
Oh yeah.
There was a Turtles tractor as well.
Yeah.
But no, Power Rangers, you had all the Zords, you had all the figures and all that sort of thing. But then there was like some of the more random ones that came out, like Reboot, the old cartoon. And I remember I had a Super Mario figure with the police car from the film.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember that.
There was that, and I had an old blue WWF ring.
Oh yeah, I
which
remember
had the
that.
red, white, and blue ropes on it and stuff. And I used to play with that quite a bit because it had all the old figures, which I've still got somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's a tough choice, but I'd probably go with the wrestling ring and the figures because I think I played that quite a bit. But then, then Ghostbusters had quite some good toys out at the time.
You had the Ghostbusters car, didn't you?
I had, maybe.
I'm sure you did.
No, I didn't have the car.
Oh.
I had the firehouse.
That's the one, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I tried to get in the car, but it was never in good enough condition to buy off car boot.
Oh, yeah.
And the same with Stay Puft. We tried to find Stay Puft Man, but it was never in any good condition.
Yeah.
It was always like dirty or something, like it wasn't worth buying.
It makes what crap some people sell car boot sales, doesn't it? But nowadays, car boot sales seem to have gone up market, don't they?
It's amazing what you found in the car.
Yeah, nowadays.
It's like I always have my pound shop finds, but I've not found anything good recently.
Yeah.
But there's like I Know Wild albums and stuff, I wouldn't buy them.
Yeah.
So, but I bought Jagged Little Pill from Poundland, which is a good album.
Yeah.
Last one from Paul. It says, best Primark survival tactics when shopping with a woman.
Well, there's two I can think of. They're both a bit stupid, to put it bluntly.
Any answers? An answer.
Yeah. Well, number one is do the old. Any fans of Father Ted will know what I'm referring to. Do the old escape via the fire exit. Like the classic Father Ted episode. I've got that on DVD. That's on my to watch list as well. Or my second answer would be it takes me back to a funny story I've heard this about. Someone told me about a friend who works as a security guard in a clothes shop. Apparently, it's harder to do it now because of the way they've changed clothing racks. I remember back in the old, going back to like the old clothes shops like C&A and Steele's and places like that. Used to have these old clothing racks where they used to go circular ones where there was like a bit of a hole in the middle, a bit of a void in the middle, and they were brilliant because they made such good hiding places. So my suggestion would be hiding those. Well, apparently this friend who's a security guard used to sort of take covert security to a new level by hiding in amongst the clothes on the rails and catch shoplifters that way. But if it works, it works. So that's my two answers: either escape via the fire exit or just hide. I don't think option 3 is worth going for. Would you just say nothing and
I'd
carry
go
on?
with either. I don't even know. I do actually. It was the only two that came to mind were either play dead,
Yeah.
or just like sort of say you have to nip off the toilet, and especially because you can walk through Primark to get to the toilet.
That's an idea.
I'll meet you back here in 10 minutes, sort of thing.
Well, you could just go up to the. So I'm going to the men's section, which is on the top floor in Primark, isn't it? No, it's not the top floor, is it? It's quite. Is it top floor?
What's that?
Menswear.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm just going up to the menswear, which happens to be on the 4th floor, as far away as you can get from anywhere else, and then just like come back 10 minutes later. Oh, there's nothing good in today.
Yeah.
That's my more sensible answer.
I've no other ways of getting out of it, really. It's just.
Yeah. That's best we can say, really.
Darren writes in, best video game ever played.
For me, it's one of them again. It depends on which console. Hard to put my finger on and say one in particular. Although I think if I had to say one, I'd probably go for GTA San Andreas.
San Andreas, right.
It's not the most recent one, and they have got better and better as they've gone along, but that was the one I feel that sort of like turned everything round completely. But I'd have to say Vice City's up there because I love the Miami vibe of Vice City as well. Because I mean, GTA 3 sort of revolutionised the GTA series. It went from the sort of pixelated top-down viewing to like actual 3D platform, third-person format, which was a massive step forward. But then I'd say San Andreas is like what took it to the next level, personally. Even though it's not in the, they've got better and better as we go into the HD universe.
Yeah.
So GTA 5 is like a very close second. San Andreas was the one that introduced the whole world. Basically, it wasn't just a city with a few roads to explore. It was whole country basically to explore. Which like revolutionised. You had like the desert and.
You get haircuts, put weight on, lose weight, get fat.
Yeah.
Ride bikes.
It was like The Sims almost merged into GTA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To me, that just revolutionised the series, so I'd go for that. But then, if I was looking at other consoles, I'd also say purely for its like uniqueness. What?
Purely for its weird faces.
Uniqueness, and there's never been any game like it before, and there's never been anything like it since. And I do wish to bring it back, to be honest. Space Station Silicon Valley on the 64. That's an old favourite of mine. It's just so there's nothing like it, basically. And that's what I like.
It was a weird game, though.
Oh, it was, but that's what I love about it.
I remember when I bought it, though, it was a case of either I was going to buy that or buy thingy Space Circus, whatever, not Space Circus, yeah, something's...
Yeah, Starshot Space Circus.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, it's a brilliant game. It's like I say, it's totally surreal, isn't it? It's like a... No, actually, that reminds me of another game that's on my up there as well, Psychonauts, which not many people have heard of, but that's... and the reason I love that is...
a bit of a cult following.
Yeah, it has, yeah, because apparently there is a sequel in the works.
Yeah.
But that's definitely one of my favourites. It's like I say, I have a very surreal personality anyway. Anyone who knows me will know that. and Psychonauts was just like... was that in a game, basically. It's like being in one of those weird dreams that you have where there's all sorts of weird things happening that you just couldn't make up. But in the form of a game, it's impossible to describe how it works. Basically, the premise of it is you play as these alien type characters on a planet somewhere, but they have this ability to be able to attach a portal to someone's mind, and they basically go inside that person's mind, and then you're living inside that person's mind, which it sounds a bit like being John Malkovich in a way, but then you see it inside that person's mind in a completely surreal and impossible to describe way. It's one of them, you've got to play it to understand it, but it's great. Oh, I can remember, I mean, there was things such as like a giant robot attacking a city. You had to fight a giant robot in a fight, and next thing you know, you're in a board game. It's like the Battle of Waterloo in a board game, and you're one of the pawns on the board game. You never know what's coming next, and that's what I love about it.
It is on the PlayStation Store and PS4.
Yeah,
you can like buy it and play it.
Next thing you know, you're in this colourful street that looks like something out of Spain with a bull running after you. You know what I mean? You never know what's coming next with it, and that's what I love about it. Yeah.
I remember I bought Space Station Silicon Valley only by chance, really, because I think I read about it somewhere and it sounded interesting. So I wanted to try it. I think I bought it second hand, and we completed it.
Yeah.
But it's
very weird, but I like it.
It was weird, but it was difficult in parts. But otherwise, it was quite.
It's very clever, wasn't it? It's like the whole idea of it's just basically
well executed. Yeah,
it's basically it's meant to be like a theme park, basically on a space station.
I think so.
And you basically you're basically a microchip, aren't you? But it can hop between different.
Well, there was you're on a ship or something. There's the human and the robot, and the ship crashes.
That's it, yeah.
So you, as the chip of the robot, have to go out and take over these different robotic animals.
Yeah.
To get through the level or whatever.
But basically, you had to assume different characters to do different bits of different challenges in the level, didn't you?
You had to flip switches and herd sheep and all that sort of shit.
It's like bears, rats,
penguins, rats, sheep, wolves, foxes. Also, wasn't there? Yeah. It's a really clever game. It's just one of them you think, who thought of this? Yeah. It's one of them. It's spell of it. There's all different environments. There was like the jungle environment. There was like a factory kind of bit, wasn't there? All sorts. Yeah. But yeah, for mine. Yeah. I'd probably have to say Super Mario 64. Oh, I've just been playing that, funnily enough. So, just beat it. We just completed it last night. For the N64, I'd say Super Mario 64. More recent times, I'd probably go with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah, it's on my to play list. Yeah. Well, we've just beaten GTA 5 recently. That took me about 4 years or whatever it was. Yeah, something like that. Darren also asks, is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake? Oh, I've had this argument before. I know the actual answer to this. So do I. Yeah. Well, it's funny where I got it from now. I didn't get it off Google. I didn't get it off some random facts website or something. I got it off QI. No, I got it off Coronation Street. Of all the places in the world. and you don't get a view website.
It was Stephen McDonald on Coronation Street was having this argument with I think it was Lloyd in the cab office,
Right.
and they were arguing over. They're like one of those sort of like silhouette squabbles over. It's not a cake, it's a biscuit, and what have you. As you can imagine. And then it was actually another character who was one of the taxi drivers. It turned out he'd been a baker or something, and he said the simple answer to it is cakes rise, biscuits don't. Hence a Jaffa cake is a cake. And then Vitties fought through the courts to argue that as well to avoid VAT on it, didn't they? That's where the story comes from. So, how did you come across it?
It was either Twitter or QI. Because it was the same thing of like them. They had the debate in court and stuff, and they said, "Well, cakes rise, or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah, we called Mr. Kipling as our expert witness on this one. And I'll call Mr. Kipling to the stand. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
That would be funny. We knew what he actually looked like.
Yeah. He also asked thoughts on time travel.
How exactly?
He didn't say, he just said thoughts on time travel.
Because I could talk about that on so many different levels. I mean, it's one of them. It's one of them. Is he asking us, do we think it's possible, or is it what's a funny story about time travel?
I'm guessing he's asking if it's possible or not. I'm guessing.
It's one of them. As I say, I'm a medical person, so I'm quite a scientifically minded kind of person. But I'm also the kind of person where I don't believe everything can be ruled outright. So I think anything's possible until proven otherwise. That's more my belief. That comes from being medically minded as well.
Right.
Because I feel that way with the paranormal. I believe in paranormal, believe in ghosts, that kind of thing. Because I don't feel there's any evidence to disprove it exists.
Right.
And I've yet to see anything myself to disprove it. So it's one of those things I like to be open-minded to, because I think, I mean, look at what we have now. Where we have, what was I reading about the other week? No, I was watching a documentary. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent now, but I'm watching a documentary about a man who had a rare medical condition that basically left him locked in his own body. It's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's one for Google if anyone wants to look it up. And he made a full recovery eventually after but he was in hospital for about 3 months altogether in intensive care.
Right.
But throughout the journey, there was they gave him a computer which somehow he was using it to communicate with. It was working just from basically blinking from his eye movements.
Right.
So he could make eye movements, and he was having full conversations with the doctors and with his family. And he was even laughing and joking with it, saying things like, "Can I swear at the nurses?" and things like that, which was hilarious. And that's just from doing eye movements. And you think 50 years ago, no one would have thought that's possible. So I think it could be done one day. I think we're a long way off pulling it off. But
I think it's going to take a long, long while yet. Even then, how would it be done?
That's the big question, really. It's one of those you have to sort of believe in things like the paranormal to believe it can happen. Really, it's not something we can just do, really, is it?
Well, I know they're trying to teleport matter. Right, things of matter. They're trying to teleport, and I think they have done successfully in that couple of tests. Like something's moved from point A to point B, but Yeah, it's going to take a long while off. If it's plausible.
Yeah. So when I think of time travel now, I think of. I should say I think of like the classic film, The Time Machine, but now it makes me think of. It makes me think of Family Guy with the time travel.
Surely Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, is that? But I just can't get over the Family Guy episode.
Which one?
Well, that one where it's the one where Brian and Stewie take Mort back to 1945 Germany.
Yeah.
There's that bit always gets me, that bit where they're about to get in a time machine for some reason. Brian and Stewie break into one of their musical numbers. Mort, completely out of character, goes get in the fucking time machine. it just it makes me laugh at every time.
There's that one though where Peter, he asked Death to take him back to.
Oh yeah, that's a good episode.
Lois or whatever as well. And they keep asking him to do like
yeah.
for a do-over.
Death. I just farted. Yeah. He's a good character.
So Toby asks, Skittles versus M&M's, which is superior?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm probably going for M&M's, I think, because I'm more of a chocolate loving person.
But which is superior? I'd
probably say M&M's again. The only thing about M&M's though is it's a rather sad story, really. Wait, you could say it's a sad story, but it's like I had a friend who used to work at the factory where they make M&M's, but he got the sack after a while, and I don't know why he did, but he got the sack. He knows what's coming. He got the sack for binning the W's. Now, folks. He got the sack for binning the W's off a production line. I mean, how petty is that? So easily done, isn't it?
I can see tumbleweed again.
I had to draw that one in. But I had a bad experience with Skittles a few years ago. That sort of scared me off them a little bit. I still like them. I like the taste of them, but I nearly broke my bloody tooth on the Skittles. I shoved a load of them in my mouth at once, and then I had this crack sound, and I'd cracked one of my bloody teeth, which needed a filling after. So that's put me off them a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, so
taste the rainbow, bitch.
Plus, I like the M&M's brand as well. I just like the they've got the M&M's shop in London, which we visited, which I quite like. So I'd go with M&M's on that one. I'd throw out a little joking. You knew that was coming.
I was debating this for myself the other day, and I thought Skittles are good because you got variety. But then M&M's, you've got variety because you have like the peanut butter M&M's and pretzel M&M's, which are like the really good ones, and the crispy M&M's.
Yeah, because I do like the fruity flavour of Skittles. Like I said, that bad experience that scared me off a little bit. So I think I prefer Starburst now because they're nice and soft, but you get that same fruity flavour.
Tough one.
What's that?
Skittles versus M&M's. I like Skittles, but then I like M&M's as well. But then I eat M&M's more than I do Skittles, so it's hard to be M&M's.
Well, she used to have a collection of the M&M's.
I've still got them somewhere.
Yeah. So.
A weird one from Jade now.
Yeah.
Jade from the Zug Island organiser in Warsaw. She said, "Would you rather sleep with Margaret Thatcher or Pat Butcher?"
That's a funny one.
Well, I said to her, I said everyone knows it'd be Doc Cotton, and she's like, "Well, it'd be at least a healthy hour of healthy debate or something." So
it goes with my politics really anyway. Because it's one of them. I'm not going to get into politics. It's banned on the show, as you know. So,
it's my bloody show, of course I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course you do. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into all the. I'm not going to get into all the politics of it, but it's one of them. It's I'm going to say you said Doc Cotton there, but Doc Cotton's a totally separate character from Pat Butcher.
Yeah, but I said that's what I said. Jade. I said everyone knows it'd be Doc Cotton.
Oh right, I get you. That's a tough one. I couldn't really sound that one. So I'm sort of... Yeah. I can't really... Because I do watch EastEnders on and off, so I'm a bit...
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've just admitted that. I'm a bit both ways on that one, to be honest. Yeah.
There's one I sent in.
Yeah.
The new Walker's Sandwich Crisps.
Oh, I've seen these in Tesco.
They're a bit horrible.
I've not tried them, but I took a look at the flavours and I thought, I don't particularly appeal to me, the flavours, so nah, I'm not. But there's a distinct shortage of like new flavours of stuff I find.
Because they finally run out.
Yeah, they seem to run out of ideas. I mean, I like the thing they did a couple of years ago where they had the like suggest your own flavours. I bet they must have got some absolutely ridiculous suggestions. I tried to think what some of them must have been like.
I'm guessing some of them are these though. Like they've just sort of left them in the vault and then thought, oh, bring them out as an original idea. These are the quotation fingers.
Yeah. So you know what we'll do next, don't you? No, I'm gonna quote Futurama. They'll stop making salt and shake, and they'll bring out new salt and shake where it's got like low sodium salt in it or something like that. And when everybody hates it, they'll bring back Salt and Shake Classic and make billions. That's what they do nowadays. It just seems well like the same old idea. It's like I remember it was probably about 10-15 years ago. There was a massive. It was like a massive upsurge of like limited edition chocolate bars, all these weird and wonderful flavours. It was like champagne flavoured. Was it champagne or white wine? I can never remember. Crunchy.
Champagne, I think.
Yeah, and it was there was like caramel mint. It was beer flavoured crisps, all this kind of thing. It was like Boddington's flavoured crisps, and you don't get any of that now. It's like they've run out of ideas, or they just can't be arsed thinking about it. So now the sandwich crisp, doesn't particularly appeal to me. I'll stick to good old cheese and onion, I think. I'd like to make a crisp sandwich. That'd probably taste nice.
Yeah, probably would.
I've not had one for years, actually.
There's a crisp sandwich cafe somewhere in the UK.
Wow.
I can't remember where it is. They have like hundreds of different flavours of crisps and you just pick from and they'll make a sandwich for you.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when Mark Spencer did jam sandwiches as well. Simply jam.
It's such a weird idea.
It was, yeah. But I actually had one once, Trafford Centre once, and it was alright, but I'm more into, when I eat sandwiches, I prefer brown bread to white bread. And I found jam tastes better on brown bread than it does on white. And they were white bread sandwiches, so I was a bit like sort of, oh, it's alright, but I would have preferred it on wholemeal bread.
There's probably a reason why it didn't get carried on, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lounge Kittens have got the debut album out.
Oh, yes.
Sequins and C-Bombs.
I'll be nicking it off you at some point.
You can buy your own copy at any local music retailer.
Yeah. What, you got something in your eye, Adam?
Yes.
I had to say that.
No, I've not had a proper listen yet. I did. I skimmed through it. There's like a couple of songs on there I know already.
Yeah.
And then there's like they've done like The Darkness Love Is Only a Feeling.
Oh, absolutely love that song.
Alice Cooper Poison.
Oh yes.
System of a Down Bounce, which is a video for, which is quite fun.
I keep saying to you that it should have been BYOB. That would have been.
They probably will at some point.
That would have been hilarious.
So I've got the EP as well, which is called Just the Tip, which has like the Sean Paul medley on and stuff, and I think Rolling maybe. I can't remember.
Well, that's the first song I heard by them at Sonosphere.
Yeah.
Listen to the Sonosphere Diaries if you haven't already. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up next month, isn't it?
Yes.
That's amongst our non-stop tour of gigs. Yeah.
Now nationwide tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've also got the Zog Island episode we're doing shortly. That'll be out around the same time as this one. I might drop them together, which has will have our experience of seeing Zog Island live for the first time, and we also have a giveaway. But we'll announce that on the actual episode. So that's everything covered. Anything you want to add?
No, nothing from me. I think we've covered. Oh no, we've not talked about Sausage Party, have we?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Don't let it stop yet. Don't go on Sausage Party then.
What do you want? We want my review of
Yes.
it. I mean, 2 words, it was fucking hilarious. I just never stopped laughing all the way through. It was. I mean, the way I described it afterwards, I said it was like Toy Story for adults. It's like X-rated Toy Story, basically. It's got a very similar concept to Toy Story, hasn't it? The idea of like talking inanimate objects, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way.
But then it's quite funny. It starts off almost a bit of a love story, doesn't it? No.
Well, the whole thing is meant to be like a love story.
Yeah, basically is, isn't it? And all sorts of bizarre characters along the way, but it's just about as un-PC and uncensored as you can possibly get, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's probably more F-bombs in it than South Park. I absolutely loved it though. I could sit there and watch it again. And as Adam knows all too well, my personal highlight, I won't spoil anything by saying any more, but my personal highlight has been the tequila bottle, which I thought was a great addition to the film. I won't say any more than that.
Yeah, it was certainly different. Yeah, if you're not if you are easily offended, don't watch it.
Yeah, good advice.
If you do like dick and fart jokes, you will probably like this quite a bit. I found myself laughing quite a bit to myself while other people weren't, but I think it was because there was jokes I picked up on that they didn't, but that was down to my sense of humour.
You've got some very open-minded sense of humour to really get it, haven't you? I would say.
You need a sort of toilet humour,
Yeah.
ideally, to get it, but...
It's just like innuendo on every corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So...
Well, no, I could definitely sit for it again. It was brilliant.
Right. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
That's it. Right, well, I think that's episode 15 of the Lost Art of Podcasting. I'm going to leave you with a bit of a different song this time, rather than our usual fade out. Since we managed to score an interview with them, and they gave me permission to use some of their music, I'm going to leave you with a Zog Island song. And this is the Prison Song by Zog Island from their album Cracked Tales.
Nice choice.
It is, because of Prison Escape.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the Lost Art of Podcasting, he's been
Christ.
and I've been Coxy, and you've been listening. Thank you very much. Here's Zog Island.
Your attention, please. As Warden Abbott announced earlier this week, Ionia State Penitentiary is now #1 in the country among inmate education. 31% of you have earned your GED and or diplomas this year alone. As promised, we now will present to you in concert your own fellow inmate Sin. Let's keep it cool and conduct ourselves properly, boys. Let's show the warden that we can do this again sometime. Here is Sin.
I can remember all that she gave to me. I can remember how much she hated me. I can remember just what she kept from me. And I remember all that she left to me. I can recall it when the